lets me down at the lonely lake. Before summer has gone away, swim out under a broken sky. Cold sun colored with shades of white. Wave goodbye to last summer. Cold air coming away soon. So let's lay under the falling moon. Tell me something about yourself. You've never told to no one else. Say goodbye to lonely nights of last summer. Say goodbye, say goodbye to lonely nights of last summer.
Strolling far from home and horizon looking like a sunset dream. Midnight talking, water crashing, evening feeling like a postcard scene. 'Cause it's just us two, dancing with the moon, my arms wrapped around you. Moon is lighting, sea of diamonds. I can tell the difference to your eyes. Morning is coming, we're not rushing. I'll lie with you until the end of time, when it's just us two, dancing with the moon, my arms wrapped around you.
Radio up and the blinds pulled down. You love it when nobody's around. I wanna call out round town, but you bite my lip sound. I'll be damned if I'm leaving without you. So give me a minute to catch my breath. Take what's yours, I'll take what's left. I'm used to coming up second best. Always fail to pass the test. I'll be damned if I'm leaving without you.
Summer air, waves through a long soft hair. Faces just stop and stare, catching no lights. So I hold you close, no matter where you go. Through all the rain and snow, I'll be close behind. These threads won't come undone if you're worn down. I'll carry you home. Holes in my shoes, walking in lines we drew. You said you're just passing through. 6 years have gone, so I hold on. These threads won't come undone if you hold them down. Carry you home. So I hold on. These threads won't come undone if you hold them down. Carry you home. Clothes on my back, it's yours if it's all I have. I meant every word I said. I'll carry you home.
I think too much. I wake up tired and terrified. Started feeling weak. You grind your teeth, can't hide your bloodshot eyes. Talking in your sleep. Guess we're on a losing streak. But we're in good company. I feel better when you speak, 'cause you know the words to comfort me. Our car won't start, our weekend plans fall apart. Dagger to the heart, just when it gets hard. You are a monster, really are. Climbing up the dark, guess we're on a losing streak. But we're in good company. I feel better when you speak, 'cause you know the words to comfort me. Guess we're on a
These days are running slow. Sunsets and shores far from home. Headlights are shining on the sea. No place on earth I'd rather be. And I could try to just follow the swell, but I'll never find this anywhere else. Been to all those places on the wall, and none come close to this, I'm sure. You try to say the sunrise the same, but tell me, have you ever danced in the rain? And I could try to just follow the swell, but I'll never find this anywhere else. And I could try to just follow the swell, but I'll never find this anywhere else. I'll never find, I'll never find.
Miles and miles on the clear blue skies. We drive straight as a narrow flies. Nowhere to be, no dreams to chase tonight. We've got time to waste, let's waste it right. You and I, heads up in the clouds. We caught up with the birds flying south. Nothing to see as the daytime